Hi, welcome to Energy, Tarot, Tea and Astrology readings, and of course all things metaphysical. I'm Leslie Levy, and today we're going to take a look at the new moon in Cancer, and we're going to do an Astro-Tarot reading with some tea charms for the new moon. So let's go. So the new moon in Cancer occurs at 3:32 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, the 21st of July. Now what's interesting is that this is the second new moon in a row. The last one was on the 21st of June. So we have the moon and the sun conjunct, and that's what creates the new moon because they're next to each other and they're in the star sign of Cancer. So this is all about family, emotions, feelings, sensitivities. And this has been like this for a month now. We're coming to the end of it because the sun will be moving into Leo shortly and the moon will be leaving Cancer shortly as well. So what does this mean? It means we've had a month where we've been looking at everything to do with the family, about our emotions, and things have been quite sensitive because the moon rules Cancer. And that means that it's really strong, really strong energy. So we're looking also at Mercury in Cancer. So Mercury is about communication, our thinking processes, our ideas, and how quickly we think. And at the moment that's squaring Mars, and Mars is in Aries, and Mars in Aries, Mars is in its home sign of Aries as well. So Mars is very comfortable and very strong here. So because these two planets are squaring each other, this means that when it comes to dealing with family, when it comes to any emotional discussions, there might be a tendency for emotions to get a little bit out of hand and maybe to have a little bit of volatility, a little bit of a blow up, an angry outburst. So that's really something to be aware of for the next few days while we've got the moon and sun in Cancer, particularly when it comes to family and emotional issues. Now we also have Saturn and Jupiter, and they're both in Capricorn, and they're both directly opposite the sun and the moon. So they're in opposition. Now both of these planets are in retrograde. So that means that they have the appearance that they're actually traveling backwards, even though in reality terms they're not. So Saturn in Capricorn, it's in its home sign. So Saturn is very strong here, even though it is retrograde. Jupiter being in Capricorn is what we call in fall. So that means that Jupiter here is quite weak, not as strong. So of the two planets that are in Capricorn, Saturn is the strongest of the two. So this means that with the opposition to the sun and the moon, Saturn has a stronger influence with the sun and the moon than Jupiter does. So what is Saturn? Saturn is about responsibility, duty. It can be a very restricting, controlling. It can be rules, regulations, self-discipline. And then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is about generosity, luck, expansion, opportunity. So even though these two planets are both in Capricorn and they're both opposing the sun, really it's Saturn that is creating tension with the moon and the sun energy in Cancer. So what does this mean? It means there's going to be some tension and restriction around what is perceived as the rules within the family, as the duty of the family. It's going to be at odds a little bit. There's tension there. With Jupiter opposing the new moon conjuncting the sun, we've got less of an expansion because it's weak there. So again, we've got this kind of restriction happening, even though Jupiter is so expansive and so generous and open, it is weak in Capricorn. So again, it's not as strong. So what else can we see here? We have Venus in Gemini. So Venus is about love, beauty, creativity, and being in Gemini, this is saying that you do have the opportunity, even though things might be a bit more difficult with a family, that you do have the opportunity to come up with some really creative ideas really quickly. And this might stand you in good stead in coming up with creative ideas for maybe solving any family communication problems that you may have. So let's look a little bit further. With new moon in Cancer, we're also looking at the past. Cancerian energy is very good at looking at the memories, bringing the past into the present. So this would be a good time, particularly as it is a new moon for new beginnings. It is a good time before the new moon actually comes into being that you take this little bit of time to review past family hurts, perhaps past family issues, and really look at them from within yourself. Go within yourself and look at them rather than talking to the family about them and externalizing, because that's where the family squabbles could start. That's where old emotions could burst to the surface and come out in a less productive way because of this square. But this is a time of going within. Moon is about reflection, inner reflection. So go in and go back through time and look at some of the things that have happened in the past that you still feel strongly about, that perhaps still hurt your heart a little, and see what you can do to really review that, analyze it, feel it again if you need to, and then see if you can find a way to let it go. Don't forget, it's really good to check the time differences depending on where you are in the world. So for example, when it's 21st of July here in Australia, in the US it would be the 20th of July. And so that's when the new moon would be there. So I suggest you check the time differences if you want to pinpoint the exact moment of the new moon. So let's move on to today's reading. You know, the moon is about new beginnings. And so even with all of this reflection of the past, perhaps we could do a reading around how can you move forward? What can you expect in moving forward in a new chapter with your family, setting these new intentions of almost beginning again and letting go of the past that no longer serves you. So I'm just shuffling the deck. I'm using the Rider-Waite deck today, and we're going to ask some questions around family and moving forward with a new beginning for them in a positive way. So first card position is the current situation with your family, and the second card are the energies surrounding. The third card is perhaps maybe what you don't know about yet or hasn't really finished coming to the surface. And then we're going to look at how can the past issues influence where you're at today. What you think might be the best way forward in this new chapter with your family or a family member that you've been having difficulties with. What is the first thing that you can do, setting your intention and moving through the energy of this new moon? What obstacles you need to overcome? How will the family or the person, that member of the family, react around this new beginning? What are you wishing and hoping for with this new beginning? And what will setting new intentions be like for how will it turn out, these new intentions around starting a new chapter with your family or with a member of the family that perhaps you still had some old issues with. So let's see okay, so we have the cards laid out, so let's see where we are. So let's turn over the first card. And so we have the Seven of Cups reversed. And this card is showing that you do have a way forward. There is one way forward. Now, cups are about emotions and feelings. And so there is a best way forward in reconnecting with a member of your family or family members that you have had past issues with. The second card is we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And this is saying to me that whilst it is going to be good to have some communication, right at this moment is not the time to start with that external communication. And that's kind of verified with the Mars squaring Mercury, where there is that potential for volatile and emotional outbursts with Moon in Cancer as well. So now is the time to still stay within and not externalize and talk to the family quite yet. So what is it that you don't know? Look, things have been quiet in the family area, particularly with the person or people that you have past issues with that have not been resolved. Things do seem to have quietened down, but I feel that your internal emotions are still getting in the way of moving forward. And we'll just see what the past has to say. And we have got the Ten of Swords reversed. And this is saying to me, tens are usually about things being finished. But because it's reversed, this is saying to me that there is still work that you need to do about releasing some past hurts and issues, some problems with another family member or members that haven't quite been resolved. And so now is a good time for you to do that inner work so that you can move forward. So let's come down here to what obstacles you need to overcome. And we have the Empress reversed. And what this is saying to me is that what you need to overcome to turn that Empress around is to let go. Just let go of what's happened in the past, because this card is showing no new growth. And we want to turn that around so that you can be creative again and have that new growth. Now, this is where Venus in Gemini might be of help for you, because Gemini is about thinking quickly, thinking on your feet. It's fast moving. And with Venus there, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about beauty and creativity. So I feel that with Venus in Gemini, there is an opportunity for you to overcome this obstacle of not being able to be creative about how you move forward in dealing with this past family issue. You can draw that energy in. So what are you wishing and hoping for? We've got the Page of Pentacles. So Pentacles are about physical things, about the doing, and pages are about small new beginnings and messages. And so with the Page of Pentacles here, you're wishing and hoping at your most heartfelt level of having a small new beginning with either this family member or family members that you've had issues with in the past that still haven't been resolved as showing up in the present. How will they react when you approach them? So we have the Seven of Swords reversed. So the Seven of Swords reversed, when we see this card upright, we can see someone who's taking some swords and tippy-toeing away, you know, like he's sort of winning something. And I feel with it being reversed that whoever it is that you have had the issue with will be open, will be willing to be open to talk to you, to communicate with you, because they're not trying to tippy-toe away. What do you think will happen? We've got Queen of Swords reversed here. So this is saying to me that you're not actually feeling confident moving forward, because when the Queen is upright, she's friendly, she's confident, she's outgoing. Wands are fire, wands are passionate and doing. And I feel that you're feeling a little less than and even a little bit nervous, and you're expecting it's not going to be easy to do this. So what is the first thing that you can do? The first thing is that you need to ground yourself. We've got the King of Pentacles here. And so what I'm seeing here is that you need to take that Moon and Sun Cancer energy and come from the place of the heart, a nurturing but grounded place, that you're actually looking at the facts of what happened and you're putting it in perspective, so that you can move forward in a strong way. And strong as in grounded. You know, the king is in charge, but this is a nurturing king. So it is about taking the first steps when you're ready with the family member or members, that you do it in a gentle, caring way, but it doesn't mean that you're weak about it. It means that you're doing it from a position of strength. And then finally, what will the outcome be? We have the Four of Pentacles reversed. And so what I'm seeing here is when this card is upright, we see someone who's holding on, holding everything into themselves. They're not letting go. And it's almost like they're using a pentacle to protect their heart. So when it's turned the other way around, I see that with this, the outcome with you doing the internal review, letting go of old hurts that might still be there with you, and approaching them from a grounded perspective, so that you're not disrupting this quiet energy that's within the family at the moment. And so if you can do that, the outcome is that they will be more open, more receptive to what you have to say. And there is the potential there for real healing to occur. So let's choose some tea charms and see if we can get more information about this outcome. So I'm just going to dive into my little fortune telling teacup. And we've got a few little charms here. So what do we have? We have the ship. We have the old-fashioned sail ship, and we have the castle, and we have a sewing machine. So what this is telling me is that you taking the initiative, being the king, taking the initiative from a nurturing perspective and making the first approach means that there will be an opening up. They will be receptive. And it means it's going to be a little bit slower than perhaps you would like, because these sailing ships move slowly, they flow and take their time. So it's about allowing things to flow and happen slowly. Because in a way, they're a bit like the castle, you know, they've had their defenses up, their barriers up. And when you think about Saturn being in Capricorn, its structure, its borders, its protection as well. So it is going to be a little bit of a slow journey, but we have this sewing machine here. And what do sewing machines do? They take pieces of material that have been cut out and shaped, and they put them together to form something new. And so I feel that this is very optimistic for you, in that you can piece together the positive aspects of your relationship from the past with this person or with these people and move forward in a new way. So I do hope this reading for the new moon in Cancer has been helpful for you. Until next time, namaste.